Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fish with Bish. It's Friday. It's 9 o'clock, so it must be Fish with Bish time. Need to say a few apologies first. Seamus is in the house. Mr. Taylor, how are you? I'm okay. Not too sure about the computer and my internet access. Virgin Media are doing something with the internet round here, and it keeps dropping out. So I do apologise in advance if it does. But there we go. Cameron, thanks very much for dropping in. Me and Cameron had a bit of a chat earlier on in the week. Thank you very much for coming in, Cameron. Adrian's here as well. I haven't had my hair cut, mate. It's just I've pulled it back. I'm having a midlife crisis. Dojo's a lot more spelling. Specialist is in the house. Mark, how are you? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Um, this is great. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming in. As I say, apologies first. Seamus, I've got the computer is actually sat on the box of cameras that are coming out to you. Sorry, mate. I've got to send them off, and I will. Um, this is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Uh, Mark Holland, thanks very much for coming in. I don't think you've been in the stream before, have you, Mark? If you have, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're up to, where you are. Same with you, Cameron, as well. Please feel free to just let us know what's going on. Let's have a look. I had a message off Baby T on his when he messaged me. You've not had a very good week fishing wise, my friend. Andrew Fishman's in the house. How are you doing, Andrew? Nice of you to drop in as well. Andrew made a nice comment as well about the 5 Minute Friday about me drawing the drawing the fish and keep talking. I've got to be honest, mate. Did the talking after. I've got a facility on my thing to actually do voiceovers, which is pretty good. Right. Very well. Everyone's very well. Hi, mate. Hi, Andrew. Hello, everyone. Big John. Big John's now in the house. Thanks for dropping in, John. I can see you're a fisherman. Just tell us a bit about yourself, mate. Tell us what you're into, what you're up to. Mark, first time from Brum, live in Gloucester now. I'm a match fisherman, but do some piking and perch fishing in the winter. Mark, man after my own heart. Just sorting these guys out. Just sorting these guys out because I'm doing a bit of perch and piking in the very near future. I don't know if you saw the 5 Minute Friday, but I've had to get these out and have a look at them. Make sure I'm doing all right. Mark, if you're not aware of Adrian Margison, he's got his own channel and it's Margison Match Fishing. That's a brilliant channel, my friend. I went match fishing this week. We'll talk about that later. Made a total idiot of myself, overthought it all. Instead of fishing the way I know how to fish, I tried to be clever, didn't I? And I fell flat on my face, but I'll let you know. Mike's in the house. Mr. Tyson, he's not the real Mike Tyson. He's not going to bite your ears. You're all right, guys. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming in. Cameron and Mark, if you're not aware, or you've not seen the stream before, we just cough up like an idea or something to do with fishing that we want to talk about. It can be anything because I'm willing to talk about absolutely anything, and you'll see that we're not your let's go, let's grow kind of thing. We like to have a nice chat, but I do suggest that everybody checks out everybody else's channel, just so you can just see what everyone's up to. Let's have a look. I'm lost a little bit. Mark says he's subscribed to Aid. That's brilliant. That is, Mark. You see what a nice guy he is. Big John, thank you. Just a Canadian guy who has a lot of fishing vids. Big John, I'll be there, mate. I'm gonna check you out. Honestly, I will after the live stream, maybe tomorrow. Well, I'm terrible. What I do is I find somebody and I watch the video, and then all of a sudden I go down that YouTube rabbit hole, and I watch everybody's. But like, thanks very much for coming in, John. Please give us an idea of some of the things that you're up to, what kind of fishing you do, because I'm really, really interested in all types of fishing all over the world. Let's have a quick look. Andrew, carp and perch in Australia are his main targets. Yeah, yeah. Andrew, if no one's seen Andrew's, because obviously we've got a few new guys in, please everybody go and check out their channels. And like you new guys, check the other guys' channels out. As I say, I'm so proud of this live stream because we have such a nice time, and we get involved in some interesting conversations. I've actually written a few things down today so that we can just cover a few things. Let's have a look. Once I'm going to bring ground bait, jigs, and worms for perch. Mr. Taylor, where you fishing? Do you know? You're going with your dad and your granddad. Anyone who's not aware, Baby Taylor, you need to change your name, Mr. Taylor. Call yourself Mr. Taylor. If you're not aware, the guy who's in here called Baby Taylor, young lad, just started his fishing. I'm so jealous because he's getting out there with his dad, and he was doing a bit of pike fishing. He said he was going to make a video, and he actually did it. And fair play to you, Mr. Taylor. And tell your dad as well. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. I love it. Absolutely love it. Keep it going. Let's have a look. Where are we? I'm a bit behind, guys. I'm just catching up. Ross Warby's in the house. Ross, thanks very much for coming in, buddy. Someone else who's new. Ross, please tell us where you are in the world, what you're up to, what you're into, that kind of thing. Everybody, check everybody else out. Let's have a look. Right, reply to comments from Mark, I think. Yeah, thanks so much, buddy. On my wish list, Big John. Such beautiful. Yeah, Muskie. So I think Muskie, am I right in thinking they're the bigger part of the pike family? Is that where we're going with that? Is that what they are? Because everyone I've seen some guys when they come close to the boat and they just turn the jig round and round in the water and it comes up and gets it. Sorry, guys, still got a bit of a cold. Walleye fishing. Walleye, I think, again, I might be wrong. Please correct me if I am. But a walleye, a bit like our zander. I don't know if you know what our zander look like, but I think they're very, very similar. Big Johnny. Let's go both on my wish list. Canal, I know. Bloody hell, guys. I'm trying to catch up. So it's the fish for here. Yeah, I bet you there is, John. Right, I'm down to stop you making me jealous, John. As going, everyone, don't forget to please hit the thumbs up, guys. Absolutely brilliant for you fellas who are in now. This is brilliant. This is you have a cracking conversation. Where's our fishing weekend? I'm on the Gloucester Canal. Mark, I'm not fishing this weekend. I fished last week. And I've got next week I'm fishing a crazy Halloween video. Don't ask, but I'm fishing a crazy Halloween video on Wednesday or Thursday, and then after that, me and Dad are doing the canal up by I don't know if you know it, Mark, up by Bell's Mill, up Stourbridge Way. I think it's about 4 bridges down from Stupony that way. So. Right, strong house for us to kick back in a bit of Sunday morning and early hour. Saturday morning. Well, Friday, yeah, it's Friday night for us and early Saturday morning for you. You must have been up mega early, Mr. Fishman, to have a look at that 5-minute video I put up. Oh my God. Yeah, John. Sorry, I'm Big John. Like where they do that in the water, is that because they follow it to the boat and you've still got a chance of getting them? Scare me to death, that would. Right, let's have a look. Dream of as Guardian events, dreams of muskie every night. You're a weirdo, you are, my friend. Yeah, walleye and zander are the same family, different species. Interesting. I think the walleye are bigger than the zander. Zander go up to about 22, 23 pounds, something like that. Walleye, zander, and muskie are put just different names in other countries. Uh, there's on Bromley Canal, Big John. Where are you? Sounds like yeah. I'm in the Midlands or the Birmingham area of Peaky Blinders, if you know that. And that's where I live. I'm in that sort of area. Um, and I apologise for my accent if you find it difficult to read me. But yeah, John, I can't wait to have a look at your channel, my friend. Really good. Ross, I'll tell you about the match in a little while. There is a video coming out, what there is of it. I've caught some class act fish, but not enough, I'm afraid. Not enough. But I'll wait until let's get a bit further in the stream so you can all laugh at me at the same time. You know me, I'm not proud. If I make a mistake, hold my hands up, and I made a genuine mistake. Idle well, I'll take the mick out of me somewhere rotten because of what I've done wrong. So no. Walleye usually under £13 around it. Do you jig fish for them, or is it crankbait? Or I know it's lure fishing, or do you use? Because here we use for our for the zander here we use sometimes we use a dead bait. It's very much like your musky or for us pike fishing over here. So same thing, sandwich with pickerels and are much like walleye but evolved differently. Ooh, and they're much bigger, aren't they, Seamus? They're much, yeah, they grow huge, absolutely huge. It's probably something different, but same family of fish. Pips Media TV. Someone else new in the stream. Thanks very much for coming in. Please let us know a little bit about yourself. What we're all about here is we just have a nice little chat. We have a nice conversation, and we just find out about each other, where we are in the world. And I just find it amazing that I can sit here in my in the kitchen of my terraced house in Birmingham and talk to people in Australia, in Canada, all over the world. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. Jigs and soft plastic, book tails, etc. Do they rip them apart? Are they sort of? Is it a one hit and that's it? Like the jig's gone, or are you? Sometimes you're lucky if you get it in the scissors or something like that. 50 was caught this year from Gloucester Canal. Beautiful fish. We were talking about this last week, Mark, and Big John. You probably won't this won't sort of register with you, but we had Zander was sort of introduced into our fisheries, our rivers. They got out and got into our rivers. Some people actually stopped them in, and there was an explosion of their population, and they devastated our coarse fish or our bait fish, if you like. So our roach, our dace, all the small fry, and all that kind of thing. But then what happened is because they did that, the I think the what's it imploded. The actual sort of how many there were, it imploded on itself. Couldn't be sustainable, and then now it's made an equilibrium. I was talking to a fisheries guy, and he was telling me that the rivers are probably almost back to how they used to be. So, Mike Tyson, what's the name of the jam factory again, mate? As Guardian, Andrew, Big John here, Commons, Mirrors, or Grass, or all of the above. Sorry, I'm missing a little bit here, guys, because I went off on one then. Sorry. Big John, we have a ton of carp here, but nobody fishes for them here. Big John, there's a video recently put up by a couple of young lads called Carl and Alex about fishing. I know it's not you, but it's fishing in the States for fully mirrored carp. And they're like 30, 40 pounds. Take a look at that, mate. That's pretty cool, that is. Sorry, guys, Lower Broadheath. I did fancy going to the jam factory, but I've heard it's a little bit at the minute. It's because I like my fisheries to be nice and clean and well looked after and stuff. So Cup of tea. I'm an Englishman. Whew. Yeah, I've heard about that, John, with the Asian carp. I did I'm not saying watch my videos, but I do like a funny, like a spoof news channel, and there was a lady reporter reporting on the Asian carp in America, and one jumps into the boat, and she's just petrified. She loses it big time. Keywords was what happened, Seamus? Did you? Oh, Mama ate them. For those of you who don't know, Seamus has got the rights to a section of river, and he's looking after it, and he's making sure that that like the flow's right and things like that, so the fish can move up and down. But there's a pike there called Mama Pike, who's a big girl, and I think she's moved the Xanders out, to be honest. Explosion in the States. Oh, well, I'm trying to change my name. Please do, Mr. Taylor. If you change your name, if you don't know how to do it, look at videos on YouTube and it'll show you how to do it. Just change it to Mr. Taylor because you're not a baby, mate. You're a proper fisherman now. Thanks, mate. Some of the best quotes videos. So, Adrian, you're right, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Did you see the one where they were catching the big redfin, the big perch in Holland, I want to say, and that guy bought out one which was £7, a £7 perch. I could not get my breath. It was amazing. Imagine that, Mr. Fishman. £7, £7 redfin. Would Andrew? A question for you here, and you guys who are fishermen who take fish to have on the plate, and I really have no issue with this. If you've got a quality fish, yeah, this one we can have a discussion about. If you've got a quality fish that you know is something special, like a £7 redfin, I still can't believe that, or a £7 perch, would you take that and eat it, or would you put it back? I would have to. I would have to second guess myself on that. Would I do that? Would I take it and eat it? I mean, I wouldn't anyway because I don't know how to cook perch anyway. But would you take it and eat it, or would you? I don't know. True North Anglers in the house as well. My goodness, guys! Thanks very much for coming in. True North Angler. We've got Big John here, literally Big John here, and I think he's from your neck of the woods. What a beast! It is a beast, Andrew. And what do you think about that? Sometimes you weigh in kilos. I've got to be honest. Us older guys, it's all pounds. To be honest. Great to see you. Take a few first and really pass it back in the water, watch swim back into the depths. Or I would. I think, Andrew, I think you're a bit of an anomaly in Australia, because I think if RKJ or Rob, I think RKJ would put it back as well. Got to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'd throw it back if it was something special, and I knew it was something special. I would have to let that go. I really would like to need to let it go. Adrian, you'll feel even better when you hear about what happened at the match. Andrew, you're doing great, mate. It's a great name. Common. It's a common name, mate. Common. Do you know what it means? In Latin, Adrian means rubbish fishman. I think the videos I've seen True North, a bit of everything. Yeah, everything. Big John? Do you do any ice fishing? In the obviously, I mean, I don't know when that starts. I mean, it's got pretty cold here, so. Russ, I'm with you, mate. I mean, it's different for us because this is what we do anyway. We don't take it away. I was just wondering the guys who actually take fish for the plate, whether if they know they've got something that's really, really spectacular, whether they take it or whatever. But I know you would. Yeah, mate. Agent, I'll tell you about the watch in a minute. I'll tell you about the match in a minute because it's a bit of a story and there's a bit of a tag end to the story as well because I went there. I went back this Wednesday. Yeah, I think so. And also, I'm of the view as well with these bigger fish that the genes need to keep going. Like the genes need to be passed on. So, like with obviously with us over here, it's the